It's two missionaries going to a guy's house. Distinguished gentleman, 4 weddings and a funeral, and it's Hugh Grant. Good Lord, this guy is a psycho.
And he looks creepy as hell.
He didn't even look as creepy in his mugshot 20 years ago.
Are you interested in learning more about the You Can't Come Inside unless another woman is present?
My wife is home. Does that count? You like pie?
Heretic is...
Listen, you hear that noise right now? That's Dan falling off his chair right now. That I picked an A24 film as my #1 movie. Dan just fell off his chair right now. What? Come on. I mean, I was shocked that you didn't either. I was shocked. I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to have the same #1 again.
The idea is that it's two missionaries going to a guy's house, and it's Hugh Grant. It's, distinguished gentleman, 4 weddings and a funeral. He invites them inside, and good Lord, this guy is a psycho.
It's Hugh Grant, and yet he's playing evil. I mean, my God. And he looks creepy as hell.
He didn't even look as creepy in his mugshot for 20 years ago.
I cannot wait for this. This is probably the only A24 film truly that I have actually been looking forward to. This movie here, just the fact that got him to do this role. Could Hugh Grant open a movie today? A romantic comedy. Could he open it? No, not like he could 20 years ago.
No, not like that. But he has had a little bit of a renaissance, a Hugh Grant renaissance, if you will. He's done a lot of the films with Madonna's ex-husband, Hugh Ritchie, or Guy Ritchie.
He did The Gentleman, which was a very fun film.
Yeah, he's done 3 or 4 films with him in the last couple of years that have been really good, and he's also done smaller roles in bigger films that you're like, oh, I didn't know Hugh Grant was in this film.
Yeah. See, whereas before it was the Hugh Grant opening the film.
Yeah.
Like he's the main star. He's the big star. It's 2 weeks' notice. It's Notting Hill, 4 weddings and a funeral. That sort of thing. But now he's no longer there for those kind of roles. He's pushing his limits. He's stepping out of his comfort zone. He's like, okay, how if I do something that nobody would ever expect me to do? And then you see him do a religious horror film, a thriller like this. I'm there for it. I'm so there. I can't wait to see it.
I have it at #7 as opposed to your #1. The one thing that drops it on my list is the whole, and you see it in the trailer, you see it, and I've kind of got it on a loop here. The renovation that he did to his house. I don't know if I can suspend disbelief that he could build all of that death trap by himself in a small cottage off in the middle of the woods like he is. I don't know if I buy that he has the home construction, home renovation skills to do that kind of a literal death trap for people.
Look at John Kramer. Look at Jigsaw. Look at all the traps that he built, and he was sick.
Yeah, but he was using like real locations as opposed to remodeling homes. Like there was carpentry involved with Hugh Grant's character. This one,
yeah, but it's not past the realm of possibility when you start thinking about some other killers that have come up with some unique ways to kill people. John Kramer, who was stage 4 cancer, can put a bear trap on some woman's head, or put poison in where you have to put your hand through the poison in order to get the key out. Oh, I think Hugh Grant could go ahead and homemade some crazy devices. But I just want to see what the supernatural angle of this is. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be just a straight out thriller. I think there's going to be some religious horror involved in this.
That is a recurring theme with your list. The religious, the dogma, the themes of it, the conclave, and
I love it. I'm gonna. It's so funny. I tell you what's really funny, Bryan, and if you really pay attention to a lot of these channels that we talk about, some of the horror channel, there's so many people in the horror community. They can handle a slasher movie. They can handle a slasher movie. They can't handle the supernatural shit. They get heebie-jeebies over it. It's fun. It's funny. It's fascinating to me. Oh, it's true. They'll sit there and talk about Ghostface and Jason and Michael, or even though Michael is a supernatural entity, but they can talk about that. And but then you start talking about supernatural elements, and also they just get the heebie-jeebies about them. It's fascinating to me. I'm just so amused. I think what makes it more interesting to me, religious horror, is the fact that whereas before you look at Jason and you look at Freddy and all that, they're stories. They're made of stories and they're told. I think what really gets me with religious horror, when you fuck around with a Ouija board, spell book, making a pentagram without words in it, you are dancing on a lot of danger. I mean, you sitting out there grabbing a spell book and you're sitting and trying to braze a spell and you don't know what you're doing. We can actually reap a lot of damage. Now, whether you believe that or not is one thing, but I've seen it. Like when I see tarot cards, I can read your future. Go read somebody else's. I'm all right. I don't need you to. I don't need you to read my future. Um, no, it creeps me out too. I mean, I'm aware of it and I respect it. And I think what's really cool about this too is the fact that they chose Mormons. Honest to heaven, I have never seen two Mormon girls together doing missionary work.
It's
I
more
think
of a recent, last 15, 20 years phenomenon. When I was a kid, one of my close friends, he went on a Mormon mission, but his sisters didn't, and I graduated in the 90s. Apparently, this is more of like a recent, like in the 2000s development kind of thing. And
Really?
when women go on their missions, usually when men go on a mission in the Mormon Church, it's at age 19. When women go on a Mormon mission, it's when they're 21. That's I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong there, but that's my understanding.
No, that sounds right because I know a lot of colleges get upset at BYU because a lot of times their players will go on missions and then they'll come back as 21-year-old freshmen and they're already physically more and they're grown men, and so they say that the missions are unfair, but
well, like for example, I'm in Las Vegas. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or UNLV, used to be in the same league as BYU, Brigham Young University, and Nevada's right next to Utah, so they used to call the series between UNLV and BYU as the Sinners versus the Saints. So we used to. So there is a lot of interesting parallels and that sort of thing. The Wikipedia page does state that they're supposed to be Mormon missionaries. It does not say that on the IMDb page, so I don't know whether that's official or not. But clearly, that's what they're implying with the white shirts and the black name tags. So whether it is or whether it isn't, clearly that's what they're drawing from. As an influence in implying at least with their characters. So I definitely think it looks like a good film. The only reason I didn't have it higher was because I didn't think that Hugh Grant could do that much carpentry, but I do think it looks like a really interesting film, and it'll be interesting to see how the characters do or do not survive. I've never seen Hugh Grant look this creepy in a movie before, and I've seen the Hugh Grant mugshot. We all have. Are you guys planning to watch Heretic when it comes in theaters? Let me know in the comments section below this video. Also, be sure to click right over here somewhere. There is another video that the algorithm thinks that you personally, that's right, you, watching this video right now, please be sure to click on it. Or if it's one of mine, definitely be sure to click on it. If not, no worries. Thank you for watching this video. I am Dragon Movie Guy. Thank you for watching, and I will see you